Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of the Eagles in Digital Business, a Candid chat with all of
Hello.
us. So, welcome again, and happy Sunday or happy Monday to everyone, depending where you are in the world. So, we have another topic for today. So, what is today's topic?
Our
Mm.
topic for today is turning your story into impact, how to inspire and attract through your journey.
Yes, so that's what we're going to be talking today. But before we dive into our topic, let us introduce ourselves. So, hi everyone. My name is Sandy. I'm originally from Panama, but currently residing in Surrey, British Columbia, Canada. I also work in the movie industry, and I'm a proud digital business owner and mentor.
Hello, everyone. My name is Isabel. I am originally from Mexico, but I live in North Carolina, USA. I am a wife, a mother of three, a grandmother of two, a proud digital business owner, and a mentor.
Hmm. See how I'm looking at her. She's like a baby herself and she's a grandmother already. Okay, beautiful. Beautiful people have beautiful things happening to them. So, my name is Mosumola, the face behind mosoconsult.com, originally from Nigeria, but now I reside and I work in USA by choice. And I've been a healthcare worker of several years, but now by choice again, I'm a digital business owner and a proud mentor for that matter. God bless you.
So thank you everyone again. So we also want to remind everyone that every Tuesdays and every Thursdays we have our live webinar. So if you want to learn how you too you can start your online business and start earning online, all you have to do is register into any of our websites that appear on the screen. You can send us also, a comment that says more info, or you can send us a private message, and we'll be happy to answer any questions that you might have. But when you register into our website, you will receive an email that will contain two links. So the first one is to register to the live webinar. That one will take you to a page that will have two buttons. So one for Tuesday and one for Thursday. So you can register for either one or for both. The second link that you get there is the link to the replay of the live webinar. So just in case you cannot make it to the live webinar, that's not a problem. You can always catch the replay and watch it from the comfort of your own home. In addition to that, we also invite you to our private Facebook group where you get to see more success stories from members of our community and more information about the business. Now, you're probably wondering, okay, so what am I going to find out on that webinar? So on that webinar, you're going to have the opportunity to learn how our online business works. And also, you get to hear from the panelists, which are members of our community, who will be sharing with you why they decided to start their online business and how this online business has transformed their lives. So let's find out who were the hosts and panelists from this past Thursday's live webinar. So if you want to catch that one before this coming Tuesday's live webinar, here were the hosts and panelists for that day.
Mm, that's beautiful.
Okay, so last Thursday, we had this live session. We had Elena as our host. She's a full time mom thanks to this business. We also had Masako. She's a former nail salon owner. Virgie is a daycare owner. And Kayuri is an ex pharmacist, now a stay at home mom. So we also had four more Musulmana.
Okay, so we had Rekia, who is an IT senior analyst programmer. You can imagine with that big title, and she's also a proud owner of this digital business. We had Victoria, who is a healthcare provider, Rebecca, who is a registered nurse, and Natasha, who is an online business owner, which means she's doing this business full time. People from different career and cultural backgrounds living across the globe, and we are all united in this digital business. Isn't that wonderful?
Yes, it is. So if you're catching this replay before next Tuesday's live webinar, our replays have subtitles in several languages, and our live webinar has subtitles in 5 languages. That's Spanish, French, Tagalog, Vietnamese, and Arabic. So there you go. So now you know what to do if you want to learn how to start your online business. Now let's dive into this topic. So what is today's topic?
Again, it's Eagles in Digital Business, a candid chit chat with us. And our topic is turning your story into impact. That is how to inspire and attract through your journey.
Yes. So welcome back to another episode of the Eagles in the Digital Business. So today's topic is one that is something close to our hearts, and that is turn your story into impact. So maybe you think, your story isn't special enough, and for some of us, well, I can say for my part, I thought that my story wasn't that strong at the beginning because I was hearing other stories. So, um, or for example, here it says, although no one would care. So you think that is not important. But the truth is, your story could be the sign someone else is waiting for. So you never know who will connect with you on the other side of the screen. You can be that inspiration, or you could be that person who can save someone else's life. We have actually one case of that in our community. She's here today with us because of an ad that she saw, from a community, a story that, it touched her heart. And through that story, she saw a light at the end of the tunnel. So that's how, your story can make an impact. So maybe you think your story isn't special enough, or that no one would care, but the truth is it is. Your story could be that sign for someone else who is waiting for that one. So someone out there needs your voice to believe it's possible for them too. And that's why it's important to share your story, because you're that hope for someone else's. So what are today's points?
Okay, our points for today are why your story matters and how to share your story to inspire and attract.
Yes, so that's what we're going to be talking today. So let's start with point number one. Wow.
So the first point is actually we often think people want tips, strategies, or perfect presentations, but what they really want is connection. They really want somebody they can connect with. If your story doesn't be seem to be out of ordinary or dramatic enough, there's somebody out there too whose story doesn't seem to be dramatic, and they want to connect with you. People are inspired by relatable stories of struggle, growth, vulnerability, courage, something that can bring enthusiasm to their present situation. When you share your story, you give others permission to dream, to try, and to keep going. Your story is your superpower. You don't need to have a perfect ending. You just need to be willing to share where you are right now.
Yeah, so your story matters. We all have a story. Sometimes we feel like our story is not that strong, but the truth is, your story has the power to inspire other people. So don't be afraid to share your story. We often think people want tips, strategies, or perfect presentations, but what they really want is connection. And you know how they connect? They connect through your story, like, the things that you have gone through in life, because that's how they relate to you. People are inspired by related stories, the stories of struggle, growth, vulnerability, and courage. um, there's so many things in life, and we all have a different story, but we all have struggles, right? We all have obstacles. We have moments where we grow thanks to the lessons that we learn from life, because life is not simple, life is not easy. But we can always learn, from it, from the things that we're going through. And we're building courage every time that we learn a lesson from life. When you share your story, you give others permission to dream, to try, and to keep going. Because when you tell people, like when you're honest, when you really share from the bottom of your heart the things that you have gone through and how you have made it through to where you are now, they get inspired by that. And they start dreaming because they can see if and think, if she did it, I can do it too. Because our story is powerful. It has that what do I call it? It has that one ingredient that people are looking for, like, your resilience, your motivation. When What made you get up at your lowest point? That will inspire somebody as well. So your story is your superpower. You don't need to have it all a perfect ending. You just need to be willing to share where you are. So don't be afraid to share your story.
Yeah, thank you, Musimola. Thank you, Isabel. Yeah, you pretty much say it all. Just to add to it is, like your story matters because it can inspire someone else. It can motivate. It can teach. Through your story lessons that they can learn from it, so they don't do the same mistakes. um so your stories can be educational too in that on that perspective. It can teach them how to bounce back when you face struggles or changes, how to work on your mindset. So all things are important because as you go through your journey, for example, for us, as an entrepreneur, we go through our journey, uh, no knowing, something all completely new. And as we go, we keep growing. We face obstacles, we face challenges, but the key here is, to learn from them, to overcome them, and keep working on our mindset, keep learning, keep growing, you know. And through those things, people will relate to you because, we are humans. Humans are not perfect. So it's not only like rose petals. There's also thorns along the way, but the thing is, how do you face those thorns? What do you do about it? And those are the things that that inspire other people to see, well, if they were able to do it, so can I. If they're able to pursue for their dreams, so can I. So that's the inspiration. So that's why it's important to share your story. So your story matters. So don't think your story doesn't matter. No one is going to hear about your story, because that's not true. Someone out there on the other side of screen will connect with you. You might not connect with everyone, but there's someone out there that will connect with you. So let's go to point number two.
Okay, so point number two: how to share your story to inspire and attract. Be real, not rehearsed. Share the messy parts, the doubts, the small wins. Authenticity always beats perfection. And you really want to show the person that you are, like, and show what you're living right now, like in this phase of your life. What are you going through? What are you learning? What are your struggles? What are your obstacles that you're facing? Because people want to see the real story, the real you. And that's how they're going to get inspired and see, like, okay, like for me, for example, I started this business with no experience, without knowing about social media. And it took me a while to learn. And I was very shy at the beginning. I couldn't really talk in front of the camera at the beginning. But because I decided to face my fears. Now I'm doing this and I love doing it. So it doesn't really matter what your situation is now, because you can always change that. And always remember to celebrate those small wins, those things that you're achieving every day that you may not think are important, but they're making a difference in you, in your story. And highlight your transformation. Focus on what changed for you, your mindset, your lifestyle, your confidence, and show people what's possible through your journey. Because you know what? Um, I wasn't very confident at the beginning. Nobody starts with confidence. When you don't know something, when you're just now starting, you're not going to have the confidence to come out here and talk about it. But as you practice, as you learn, as you dive into the training, you're going to be gaining knowledge, right? And you're going to be preparing yourself to come out and share this with confidence. So your mindset, everything is shifting while you're doing that. And your transformation is inevitable. You know, when you're doing all these things, when you're really dedicating yourself to learning and to acquiring more skills, more knowledge, your transformation is happening, and you may not see it, but other people around you will notice it before you do, and they will tell you and they will comment like, you know, what's different about you, or what are you doing different, or why do you seem more confident, or why are you more happy? You know, there's so many things that they can say when you start this transformation. So just show people what's possible through your own journey.
And the thing is that in this business, this is one of the reasons why I love this business, because there are some things, culturally we don't like to share stories that are bad about ourselves. We always want to portray each other like, I mean, ourselves like, just show only the good parts, don't talk about the bad part and so on. So when somebody is going through a bad situation or a bad session in life, you feel you are alone. You don't want to share it because you don't understand that others are also going through the same. Everybody is keeping the bad part and they're only showing the good part. So if you don't have a good story to tell, you'd say, oh, I'm so unfortunate in life, I'm the one that is making mistake. Oh, I cannot see my old classmate and stop by and talk because he's in a shiny car. You don't even know whether that car belongs to him. Maybe he's just a driver. Maybe you just see him driving the car and you just believe, oh, he's doing so well in life. You don't know his struggles. Or the person that has a big house, that has a big building, that has different so many companies to his name. You don't know the kind of health challenges that he's going through. So you just see yourself as struggling, and you don't know that you have to thank God in your situation because you cannot share with others. So let's in this business, I now realize that we share our messy parts. That is why we always say start with the webinar. This webinar, there's nothing these people do except to share their own struggles, the obstacles that they came across, or the mistakes that they have made and how they overcame. That is what we share at the webinar. That is where you see different people from different career. And are you a healthcare worker? You meet healthcare workers there. Are you a cleaner? You meet cleaners there. Are you the big man in charge, the manager or whatever? You will meet managers like you also there on that platform. Just keep watching and you will see what we are talking about. So this is why we always say, let us start. Our starting point in this business is to watch the webinar, see the struggles of people, see how they have overcome, or see how they are still in it and the progress they are making. So we don't share story when everything is all rosy now. No, sometimes we are still in the middle of the puddle and we are sharing our stories so that others who can relate with it can also say, okay, if this person can go in. We've seen some people that were struggling on their sick bed and they are in this business and they are making it. So if you are sick or you have some health challenges, doesn't mean, oh, I will wait until I'm fine and I'm able, I'm presentable before I will come out. No, when you go to that webinar, you will see people in different stages in life, young, old, middle age, everybody is there.
Thank you, Isabel. Thank you, Mosumola. Yes. So you guys pretty much saying out, and I love one point that you touched, Mosumola, about the cultural thinking, and it's true because like even in the Latin culture, we're always try to keep to always show only the good side, like not not showing, it's
You're not
creating that
single.
image, that good image, and try to keep it that way. But like the truth is, like we mentioned, before, we are humans, we are going through struggles, you have to show, the real thing, like we mentioned before, it's not always rose petals, we have our times of doubts. We have our times, um where we struggle, you know that we need to share those ones too, because people are going through that too. So if you are raw, you're honest with them, they can connect with you more. Because like we mentioned, we are humans, and every humans has, their doubts. Every humans has their not having that confidence. um, we are going through that, all the fears, that's normal. We're not fearless, we're not born fearless. We build that confidence to be able to overcome the fear, but in reality fear never goes away. So that's something that is always gonna be there, but is the way to push you. But yeah, you gotta be honest, you gotta show your authenticity. um not try to rehearsal, like sometimes, we were going through here, like I seen, sometimes, when I edit the slide, I miss um something, and I see like, oh shoot, I forgot to fix that. But that's normal, that's part of the journey, the process. We made mistakes, and that's normal. We try not to, but sometimes, we made it. um but the thing is, like, the show has to go on. If there was mistake, the show goes on, so you have to keep going. um the highlighted transformation, yes. And Isabel touched something that many times, like especially on this journey, when we start, like we don't know anything about online business. We start learning, with the training, we go out of our comfort zone to take into challenges, and do them, to continue growing. Um, and like Isabel mentioned, many times we don't see those changes, but people that are around us, people that knows who we are, who we were before, and they see us now, they say, wow, that's not the same person I used to know. That's not the same, for example, Isabel, that's not the same Osumola, that's a totally a different person. um, and that's, they get to see the changes. Many times we don't see it, but when they mention to us, then we're like, say, oh yeah, it's true. you know I have evolved, from who I was to where I am today. So highlight those things. If you show, like, for example, when we started lives, it was like scary. It wasn't something easy, but we did it. We did it by showing up every day, by practicing. And we went through it. When I started my life, for example, I used to make, we kind of like banner. I used to make a banner to put points for me to say, like, welcome, guest, topic, to know the order that I was supposed to. I don't use them anymore. But many times, when I was doing the live, I, by mistake, I will bring my points into the screen, and then people will see it. I don't know if people pay attention, but yeah, those were my points to guide myself, what I was supposed to do, in order. But yeah, we just went through it and keep, learning and growing and practicing, and that's how, we have transformed along the way. And we keep learning and we keep growing. It's never, like an ending process. And that's the beauty of it. You keep evolving, you keep learning and growing, as you go. So yeah, so make sure that, through sharing your story, you show the real, the raw, and highlight your transformations along the way. It's very important. So we have two more points for this one.
Okay, so the next 2 points are how to share your story to inspire and attract, or focus on who you serve, Instead of thinking, what will they think of me? Ask, how can I make my story help them? Your story is not just about you, it's about the people waiting for hope. And that's what I was saying, previously. Your story has the power to inspire other people, to make them dream through your story, and they will, take action and start doing things because they see that it's possible, because they can see that if you're doing it, they can do it too, right? Because we're not, nobody was born privileged. It's just the effort that you put in, to achieve the things that you really want in life. So always keep in mind, how can I inspire, how can I serve other people through my own story? So that's why you have to be authentic, you have to be real, and you have to show yourself as who you are, because the right people will connect with you. You're not going to connect with everyone, and you're going to get criticism, you're going to get comments that, you're always going to have haters out there, but the right people are going to be there too, and you're going to be able to inspire them and to connect with them. And then call them forward, invite others to take their first step, to dream big, or to believe in themselves. So your story can move them from maybe to I'm ready. Because let's be honest, when we first start and we come on and we share this opportunity, we come to these lives and we'll be talking about this. Like at the beginning when we started, we were not ready. Nobody was born ready. But the thing is, we decided to start doing it, and even though we were making mistakes, we looked nervous, we couldn't really have a fluent conversation. We decided to do it anyway, and some of the people that were, following or watching us back then, they knew that you could see that we were not really, prepared, that we were not ready, that we hadn't been doing this for a long time. But now, a lot of people, reach out, and they can see the transformation that we were talking about. They can see the confidence, they can see the passion that we have for this business, and they're reaching out to us. And maybe before, they were on the sideline watching, they didn't even comment, they didn't send us any kind of emojis, they didn't have no reactions for our content. But now, they're sending us messages telling us that they want to know more about the business, that they're ready for the business. So your story really does matter. And the good thing about us, we've been on here for so long that you've been part of our journey, you've been part of our transformation, and you can really see, how we've been changing through these months, through the years. And that's very inspirational for some, that are waiting for that moment to take the leap of faith and take action.
That's very true, because just this yesterday I went out with some people, and while I was sharing my story about digital business, about the work we are doing and things like that, because I was at a dinner table with some people, some business partners, and also we had this lady that was not, she has not started the business, so we're just talking this thing, and then she was like trying to doze off, she was trying to keep awake. So we're saying, this is just 6 o'clock, why is it that you are, I mean, you feel so tired? Did you go to work today, or are you going to work, or what? So she said, oh, I'm so used to sleeping at this time, because I work like so many hours yesterday. I just came back today and things like that. We said, okay, how do I used to do that? But now this is my story. This is, so she was surprised. She felt, so there is a way out of not really doing all those work. I said, yes. Then we started talking like that, and then she felt wide awake, and she said, oh, but she thought that all those things are just scam, that it's not true. She has done some that before, and she put her hands her fingers were burnt and so on. So she put a call through to her daughter and she said, "Have you heard about this?" The daughter said, "Yes, I'm an IT person. I know about these things, but a lot of it are just scam, this and that." And I said, "Okay, these are my own earnings." I showed the mom and I said, "Can I do video call with you?" And I said, "Oh, that might be true. So, mommy, please listen to what they are saying. Listen, 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 and let's discuss this at a better time." So, and right there and then, the mom said, "Okay, I want to register. I want to be part of you." You know, because we're able to come out and say things, and it wasn't as if we're condemning her. It's like, this is what I used to do. I understand you very well. If we don't work, you don't earn. If you don't work, you don't earn. But I mean, the working doesn't have to be physically being there. It might be, as we are sitting down here, my work is working for me, time is generating for me, and so, and that is it. So you don't know how your story can be. It might look so small, it might look simple, it might look not very attractive, but you don't know who will resonate.
Thank you, Isabel. Thank you, Musumola. Yeah, just to add to this, yeah, our focus, is to serve, and how do you do that through your story? Um, that's why you need to share your story, and stop thinking or having those doubts inside that what people will think about me if I share this, or um or having kind of like being shy to share it because you have your friends, you have your family, or because those are the ones that we care the most, not so much about the public, but more like family and friends. What would they think of me, because I'm sharing this, but the truth is we are here to serve people, we are here to help people, and the only way we can help them is by sharing our story, how we have transformed from we where we were at the beginning to where we are now, how we are transforming our life, to find a better lifestyle, that is not only the 9 to 5. um, how can we start this on the side and then build it, but you have to share your story. People won't know if you don't share it. It's the same thing, like people won't know if you don't ask what you want. They're not psychic, they cannot read your mind, so you have to share it. And when you share it, people listen, and when they listen, eventually, they have to reflect, but eventually, they will take action, because they will see, there is hope. There is hope for what I thought that there was no hope. That I thought that working was the only option. Now I see we have options. So we can start this on the side. So, but how would they know that? By you sharing the story. So it's important you share the story, because you can inspire someone out there that needs help. And they think that there's no other way around. So it's important to focus on who you serve, for the people that you are trying to help out there. So it's important to share your story and to call them forward, yeah, we also, like you can share your story, but if you don't have that inviting invitation to them, to invite them, to take that first step to find out more information about this, for example, this online business opportunity, they won't know. Yeah, you can share the story, but how would they know what are the next steps to do to be able to change their situation? So you have to tell them, what are the next steps. Otherwise they won't know. Yes, they will get inspired with your story, but then that's it, it ends there. you know so you really have to focus on serving people, and make sure that you invite them, so they know that these are the steps if you want to make a change in your life, for example. So yeah, it's important to that. So yeah, your story is to inspire, your story is to attract, to be able to help those people that are in need, to be able to inspire the people that are watching you, um, and to see that there is hope, there is a light at the end of the tunnel, there is a way you can change your life, you know. um, so through your story you can do a lot of things: inspire, motivate, educate, you know. But yeah, it's important to share your story, so your story matters. So what are the key takeaway of this topic?
Hmm. Hmm.
Okay, the key takeaways for this topic: you don't have to be at the finish line to inspire others. You just have to be a few steps ahead, sharing honestly from your heart. Your story isn't just about where you've been, it's about the doors it has opened for someone else.
Yeah, no matter how small you think your story is, it can actually open the door for somebody else. Just like I said yesterday, just this yesterday, I was just being concerned why somebody can sit at a dinner table and she'll be dozing off like that. And we were just talking like we are not we are not we are not magicians, we are not out of out of the blues. We are the same as the same flesh and blood like you, and we are also struggling, but we have found a better way to cope with our needs because everybody has needs. So just sharing your story, it's not out of the ordinary, but it is just sharing the story that where somebody thinks there's no way, there's actually a way in. And evidence, evidence they say stops most arguments, especially verifiable evidence. So that is it.
Thank you. And what message do we have for our viewers?
Well, if you are ready to start turning your story into impact, just comment impact below or send us a message on whatever platform you are watching us through. Just reach out to us, mention impact, or say something, send a message, say, "Hi, I'm interested, I want to know more," something like that. And then we will see how we can come in and what you can gain from us as well.
Yes. So we have arrived to the end of our lives. So we hope so that what we share today, it will inspire to share your story. Like it like we it when you share your story, it doesn't have to be only about the business. It could be someone,
Mhm.
a friend that you're talking to a friend, and your friend needs to hear your story
Yeah.
because of the situation that they're going through. So your story matters to someone else that needs to hear it. So
Mhm.
that's the main topic of today. Is about sharing your story because someone out there is needs to hear it. So we hope so that you got inspired. If you want to share any situation or any story where you share your story and you were able to impact someone else's life, you can put it in the comment and we'll be happy to read it. And I'm sure a lot of the community will also get inspired, and let's create that movement of sharing our story to inspire others and to motivate. So we hope so that what we share today will help you, and will help other people too. So, if you want to know more about this online business opportunity that we are showing you, you can do it three ways. So you can either put in the comments more info, or you can send us a private message, or you can register into our website that appears on the screen with your name and email address, and we'll send you that invitation to watch the webinar. We have live webinars every Tuesdays and Thursdays, 5 p.m. PST, 8 p.m. EST. So when you register into our website, you will receive an email that will contain two links. So one is to register to the live webinar. That one will take you to a page that will have two buttons, one for Tuesday, one for Thursday. So you can register for either one or for both. And the second link that you have there is the link to the replay of the live webinar. So just in case you were not able to see the live webinar, that's not a problem. You can always catch the replay and watch it from the comfort of your own home. In addition to that, we also have a private Facebook group where you get to see more success stories from members of our community and more information about the business. Now, you're probably wondering, so what is it that we're going to find out on the webinar? So on the webinar, you're going to find out how our online business plan works. And also, you get the opportunity to hear from the panelists, which are members of our community, who will be sharing with you why they decided to start their online business and how this online business has transformed their lives. So, if you want to catch this replay before this coming Tuesday's live webinar, here are the hosts and panelists for that day.
Yeah, so last Thursday we had Elena, who was the host, and she is a full-time mom thanks to this digital business. So we had on the panel Masako, who is a former nail salon owner. So she had her own business, physical business premise, formally, but now she has decided that she will give it over for working this digital business. Virgie, who is a daycare owner, also working on her own physical business, and she's still keeping on it. And then we had Kayuri, who is an ex pharmacist, and she is also a stay at home mom. All thanks to all rolling it and then enjoying this digital business. So join us.
Okay, we also had Reika. She is an IT senior analyst programmer. Victoria is a healthcare provider. Rebecca is a registered nurse. And last but not least, Natasha is an online business owner. So she's doing this full time and not doing anything else. So if you too want to learn more about this amazing opportunity, don't forget to register on any of the links that you see on the website so you can learn more about our business plan.
Yeah, so thank you, Isabel. Thank you, Mosamola. So if you're catching this replay before next Tuesday's live webinar, our replays has subtitles in several languages, and our live webinar has subtitles in 5 languages: the Spanish, French, Tagalog, Vietnamese, and Arabic. So there you go. So now you know, if you want to learn how to start your online business, those are the 3 steps. So put more info in the comments, or you can send us a private message, or you can register into our websites that appear on the screen. So we want to say thank you to everyone that has watched the live with us today. For those catching the replay, thank you so much. To our followers, thank you so much for being part of our journey, for believing in us, and for engaging with our content. Um, we do have some like emojis here from Shebet Obed, Kelvin Simba, Billy Kuso Onike. So thank you so much for watching, and thank you for your like emojis. Also, if you guys are watching us from Facebook and you are not following us in our Facebook business page or personal profile, you can follow us up here on the top. And that way you get to know us a little bit more who we are and what type of content we put in our pages and more information about the business. If you're watching us from YouTube and you haven't subscribed to our channel, you can subscribe to our channel and press that notification bell to get notified when we put new content and when we are going live. So that way, you know a little bit more about this topic, about the online business, and you keep learning about this online business. And when you feel ready, we'll be happy to be here to guide you along the way, because you're never alone in this journey. So you will all have our support and also the global online community support. So thank you again for being here with us today. We want to wish everyone a happy and blessed Sunday for those who are on Sunday, and a happy and blessed Monday for those who are on Monday, and a happy and blessed weekend ahead for everyone. So thank you again for being here on another episode of the Eagles in Digital Business. Oh, wait, we forgot. We almost forgot.
Hmm.
Next Sunday's topic.
Yeah, so don't forget to come and join us every Sunday. Next Sunday, we're going to have this topic, owning your vision, how to stay focused and aligned with your bigger purpose. You don't want to miss it, so we'll be waiting for you next Sunday.
Yes. So remember, everyone, your voice has power. So let's use it to lift others higher. So, and you can do that through your story that you share. There you go. So now for real, let's Thank you for being here again with us in this episode of the Eagles in Digital Business, a Candid chat with all of us. Thank you again. We want to wish everyone a happy and blessed day to everyone. And until the next episode of the Eagles in Digital Business, a Candid chat with all of us. Bye,
Lots.
everyone. Thank you for watching. God bless
Bye.
you.
Happy Sunday.